Hi, boys and girls. Hi, my name is Mr. Willy. Put on my Mr. Willy sunglasses, and we're all ready for a wonderful show today. Well, as you can see, I had to ride my bike to my workshop because I was painting and I got paint all over me. So you'll have to excuse the mess, boys and girls, and we'll have a wonderful show today. Well, we're going to be studying Bible heroes. That's right. We'll have a special story about a Bible hero, so you stay right tuned. We'll be right back, though. We have a commercial break coming your way, and we'll be right back with Mr. Willy's Workshop. Just a minute. Bye-bye.
Mr. Willy will be back right after this message. Are you afraid of the dark? Does things scare you when the lights go out? Well, not anymore, because now you can get Mr. Willy's Light Hat. That's right. 2 flashlights mounted on a high-quality baseball cap makes you the envy of the whole town. You can see in crevices, find things that you thought were lost. That's right. Mr. Willy's Light Hat comes with 2 AA batteries for long-lasting light. You can even read. Imagine your mother turning off the lights at night? No problem. You can read the book anyway. That's Mr. Willy's Light Hat. Buy one now for only $10.95 right here.
Mr. Willy's Light Hat. It's great. You ought to get one, boys and girls.
And when the light hat isn't enough, you need the big light. That's right. A powerful flashlight mounted on your hat. Get it now for only $29.95 from Mr. Willy.
Well, hi, boys and girls. I'm back. Wasn't that a wonderful commercial? I hope you can buy one of those things. Of course, I haven't made them yet, but pretty soon maybe I'll make some of those. You can maybe buy them. Well, I'm back today. How many of you boys and girls have always wanted to be really strong? You seen people like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Big muscles? Yeah, you'd like to be strong like that. So would I. That's why lately I've been working out and lifting weights. Yeah, you can see Mr. Willy's big muscles, that's for sure. Yeah, Mr. Willy's been working really hard, boys and girls, lifting weights, getting strong so I can swing my hammers and pound nails in a lot better, you know. Well, I would like to tell you a story about the... Don't ever drop weights on your toes, boys and girls. I think that's enough working out for today. Put these over here. It's a good thing I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd kill myself. Well, anyway, boys and girls, how would you like to hear about a superhero in the Bible? Oh yeah, the Bible has superheroes in it too. And I'm not talking about Superman or something. You know, I've always dreamt of being a superhero. I always thought it'd be wonderful to have a cape and fly around. I wonder how...
He's the vanguard of the oppressed, the vanguard of the downtrodden. He's none other than Super Willy. That's right, superheroes, superpower, super strength, and super intelligence. It's Super Willy, able to leap tall buildings with a single bound. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Willy.
Yep, it was a wonderful thing to be a superhero. How he just flew like this, kind of like... I even get hurt in my dreams, boys and girls. But anyway, as I was telling you, the superheroes in the Bible didn't have capes and stuff. But I'm going to tell you about a superhero called Samson. He's one of my special heroes in the Bible. And Samson was very, very strong. It wasn't because he lifted weights, boys and girls. It was because he got his strength from the Lord. God gave him special strength to beat up some other bad guys called the Philistines. Yeah, the Philistines were taking over the country of Israel. Hurting people, hurting the Israelites, taking all their food. Oh, that'd be awful, wouldn't it, boys and girls? So Samson came on the scene. He loved God, and God gave him special strength to beat him up. Yeah, he had to beat him up, boys and girls. Well, one day, Samson was walking along, and all of a sudden he heard a terrible noise. It was the sound of a lion. Can you imagine how scared you'd be, boys and girls, if you was walking in the woods all alone one night? You're walking, and suddenly you hear a sound of a lion. What was that noise, boys and girls? I thought for sure I heard a lion. Here, I was just telling a story. I didn't know I'd really hear one. That wasn't supposed to happen, boys and girls. But anyway, I was going on with a story. Imagine you're walking in the woods and you hear this terrible sound like I just heard, okay? A sound of a lion. There it is again. All right. What's my camera crew trying to do to me now? Trying to scare me half to death? Anyway, we'll continue. Well, anyway, Samson wasn't afraid like I just was, because the Spirit of the Lord came upon him and he was very, very strong. And he took that lion and he tore it limb from limb. Boy, I'd like to be able to tear a lion in two, boys and girls, but I don't know if I could. How about you? But Samson did. He tore the lion's mouth right open and killed it. Well, that's just one of the many things that Samson could do. Oh, he was strong. But Samson had a weakness, a secret weakness. You know, just like a superhero sometimes has a weakness, Samson had one too. You know, he could have changed it if he wanted to, but he didn't want to. You see, he wanted to go out and date women that didn't love the Lord. You know, there was plenty of women in his nation that loved God and was good women, but no, he wanted to go to the Philistine women. They were, I guess, more exciting to him or something, and he wanted to go out with them. The Bible definitely told the Israelites not to go out with other people that didn't love the Lord. And that's a good idea for us, boys and girls. When you get old enough to date, don't date people that don't love the Lord. You're just asking for trouble. You date people that are Christians. You ask Jesus in your heart, you make sure that your people that you date ask Jesus in their heart too before you date them. It's just a good idea. But Samson didn't do that. No, he liked this one girl in this town, and she was a Philistine, and he thought she was really nice, but really she wasn't. She said that she liked him really well, but she really didn't. And one day some bad Philistines came up to the woman and said, I tell you what, we'll give you lots of money if you find out what makes Samson so strong. Well, at first she didn't really want to do it, but finally when they said they'd give her lots of money, she said, well, maybe, how much are you going to give me? Well, they told her an amount. Let's pretend it's $3,000. Well, that sounds like quite a bit money to us boys and girls, doesn't it? But is it enough money to betray someone? To be mean to somebody? I hope not. But anyway, she said, I'll find out the secret of Samson's strength. And I'll let you know, okay? So one day Samson came over to her house and started talking and everything like that. And Delilah was her name. Delilah said, Samson, why won't you tell me how come you're so strong? He said, well, it's kind of a secret. And she said, oh, if you love me, you'll tell me the secret of your strength. Well, she kept nagging and nagging and nagging, and finally Samson said, well, let's see, if you tie me in brand new ropes that have never been tried before, I'll be as weak as any other man. So one day Samson was taking a little nap there, and suddenly Delilah took some brand new rope and tied his hands up with it, and she said, get up, Samson, the Philistines are coming to get you. Well, Samson stood up, and he just broke those ropes just like nothing else, and then he started to laugh. Well, Delilah was mad, and she cried and everything. She said, you lied to me. You didn't tell me the real story of your secret of your strength. Please tell me, Samson. So another time he said, well, if you take a loom, you know what a loom is? It's a thing to make rugs. If you take a loom and you weave my hair into it, I'll be weak. Well, she tried that when he was sleeping one day. Took his old hair, he had long hair, of course, and that was one of the secrets of his strength, but we're not supposed to tell anyone. He had long hair because God told him not to cut his hair at all. Well, anyway, she took his long hair and put it in the loom. And then she said, Samson, wake up, the Philistines are at you again. Well, he stood up and he carried the loom right out the door. And I didn't stop him at all. But finally, she kept nagging and nagging, and finally he got tired of it. And this is when he made the big mistake. He finally said, okay, I'll tell you the real secret. I am a Nazarene. That's a special kind of Israelite. And God told me never to cut my hair or to drink beer or anything like that. No wine or anything. And if I didn't do that stuff and didn't cut my hair, God would always give me strength. Well, Delilah knew this time he was telling the truth. And so when he was sleeping one day, she took some scissors and cut his hair all off. She was a wicked woman. Well, then she said, get up, Samson, the the Philistines are trying to get you." Well, this time he stood up and he expected God to give him strength again. He was ready to beat them all up, but then he felt his head. He didn't have any hair. Delilah had cut it all off. Well, what was he going to do? He was weak. God told him if he cut his hair, he wouldn't have any strength anymore. When God tells you to do something, you're supposed to do it. He can't bless you if you don't do what God tells you what to do. Well, he was weak. And the rest of the story isn't very pretty, boys and girls, because the Philistines took him, they beat him up, and they even poked his eyes out. Terrible, terrible thing. Well, he was blind. He was made a slave. He had to do corn all day. He had to walk around in a circle in a mill and push this heavy thing to make corn. He was a pitiful sight, and people laughed at him and everything else. Poor Samson was blind, and he was made a slave. No more strength because he told the secret. And he went out with people he shouldn't have went out with. Well, Samson had to go like this for days and days and days. But one day, he kept praying and praying that God would forgive him for the terrible thing he had done, and his hair started to grow little by little, and pretty soon it was kind of long again. Well, one day they were going to have a special holiday in the land of Philistine, where the Philistines lived, and they brought Samson up to their big temple. They had false gods. They worshipped gods that weren't real at all. And they said, "Let's bring Samson up and make fun of him some more." So they brought him up to this huge temple and put him between two pillars, big pillars that held up the whole temple. They said, "We're going to have lots of fun now." And they started making fun of him again and everything else. And Samson prayed. He said, "Dear Lord, I've done some terrible things. I've dated people that don't love you. I've told the secret of my strength and let them cut my hair. Please give me strength one more time, and I will destroy these Philistines, people that hate you and hate your people, the Israelites. If you'll give me strength one more time, I'll be happy, and I'll knock this temple down and do what you want me to do, and make these people stop bothering the Israelites." And he said, "I don't even deserve to live. Just let me die in this temple." So he put his arms around the pillars, and he told the little servant boy that was helping him walk along because he couldn't see, he said, "Help me put my arms around these pillars." And so the boy did. And he started squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and pretty soon the whole thing started falling down. The roof was falling in, boys and girls. It sounded like it, but I guess everything's okay. But anyway, Samson pulled down that temple, and all the roof fell in, and all the people fell, and about 3,000 people died. Well, Samson died too. He asked God to allow him to die because he knew he did wrong, and he failed because he was supposed to do a lot more for the Lord. Well, that was the story of the superhero. He could have been even better if he didn't have that one weakness. And that's the same thing about us, boys and girls. We can serve the Lord and do wonderful things with His help, but if we let sin enter our lives and start doing wrong things, we're just going to fail miserably. We're going to do awful things, and we're going to really mess our life up. So remember, boys and girls, when you get old enough to date, make sure you date people that love the Lord. Don't date people that don't love the Lord. Remember about Samson, somebody that was mean to him and didn't love the Lord at all and messed him really up. Well, that's the story of Samson, so I hope you enjoyed it. Well, it's just about done with the program for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And you make sure that you listen to your teacher, and she'll tell you about other superheroes in the Bible, I'm sure. Well, until next time, boys and girls, this is Mr. Willy saying, so long, bye-bye, see you later.
This has been Mr. Willy's Workshop.